What if I told you that the person you think you are isn't even you? That your old self is nothing more than an outdated app running bad code. And every thought, fear, and limitation you carry is just data you forgot to delete. But here's the truth. You can uninstall that old identity and install a higher version of yourself today. This isn't magic, it's quantum. And once you understand the science behind it, your entire reality begins to shift, fast. We live in a world where people upgrade everything, their phones, their homes, their wardrobes, but not themselves. Every day, we scroll, consume, and compare, running the same emotional programs that keep us stuck in an invisible loop. Think about it. You wake up, check your phone, see the same notifications, feel the same emotions, think the same thoughts, and repeat the same actions. By noon, 90% of your day is already decided by your subconscious, the old you running on autopilot. This isn't your fault. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. It memorizes patterns, both good and bad, and replays them because it feels safe. So when you say, "I want to change," your subconscious mind resists. Not because it hates you, but because it's trying to protect an outdated version of you. Imagine your old self as a phone app that hasn't been updated in years. It crashes, it lags, it drains your battery, but you keep using it because you're afraid to lose your data. That data is your identity, your story, your trauma, your failures, your excuses. You say, "This is just who I am." But is it really? Or is it who you've practiced being for years? Quantum physics says that a radio station. If your old self is tuned to guilt, fear, or lack, the universe keeps broadcasting more of that frequency back to you. You're not cursed. You're just tuned wrong. The real problem isn't that you can't manifest or change. It's that you're trying to upgrade your life while still running on an old operating system. Let me tell you about Lisa. She was 34, stuck in a job she hated, replaying the same relationships with different faces. Every January, she'd write "New Year, New Me" in her journal, and by February, she'd feel the same anxiety and emptiness. She was trying to manifest abundance, while her subconscious was still broadcasting lack. One night, she heard a quote that changed everything. "You can't become your future self while defending your past one." That hit her hard. She realized that transformation doesn't start when you add new habits. It begins when you delete the outdated ones. And that's when she started the process of uninstalling her old self piece by piece. So how do you actually delete your old self? The first step is awareness. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says, "You can't change your life until you become aware of your unconscious self." And neuroscience backs this up. 95% of your thoughts are repetitive, and 80% of them are negative. That's your old self on autopilot. The discovery is simple yet revolutionary. You're not your thoughts. You're the observer behind them. When you step back and observe your mind instead of identifying with it, something incredible happens.
You interrupt the program.
Quantum physics calls this the observer effect, the idea that the mere act of observation changes the outcome of what's being observed. In spiritual terms, that means awareness itself starts to rewrite your reality. When Lisa began this process, she didn't try to fix herself overnight. She just watched. She'd catch herself saying, "Interesting, that's the old program." This act of detached observation, you literally begin deleting old neural pathways, dissolving them through lack of use. Quantum manifestation isn't about tuning your energy to the frequency of who you want to be, instead of who you've been. Your energy field, your quantum signature, is constantly broadcasting information. And that
The universe doesn't speak English.
it speaks frequency. The moment Lisa truly understood this, she began a new daily thing. Before touching her phone, she'd close her eyes and feel gratitude for a future that hadn't happened yet. She'd visualize herself already living the life she desired, feeling love, peace, and freedom. This wasn't daydreaming. It was reprogramming. The brain can't tell the difference between a real experience and an imagined one when emotion is involved. So by feeling the new identity now, she began to collapse the old one in the quantum field. That's when she started to notice synchronicities. Emails from unexpected clients, a random call from an old friend offering a job lead, and an inner calm she hadn't felt in years. This was the universe reorganizing itself around her new frequency. She had discovered the secret.
You don't attract what you want. You become what you want. And your reality
Problem and the discovery.
Write down your top 5 recurring negative thoughts.
These are your apps running silently in the background.
Ask yourself.
Where did this belief come from? Who taught me to think this way? What would happen if I stopped believing it? Awareness is the uninstall button. When you see that a thought isn't yours but something you learned, it loses power. You stop defending your limitations and start debugging your mind.
Step 2. Rewrite the code.
Every morning, spend 5 minutes visualizing your future self. Not as a distant dream, but as a download, a version of you that already exists in the quantum field. Feel their confidence, their peace, their energy. Now anchor that feeling with a physical cue. Place your hand on your heart and say,
I am installing.
This may sound symbolic, but
Works when you fuse.
differently, or saying no to something that drains you. That's how you build a bridge between dimensions, from thought into matter.
Step 3. Rehearse the new reality.
Athletes call it mental rehearsal. Quantum teachers call it collapsing timelines. Every night before sleep, replay your day in your mind, but change the script. See yourself acting, speaking, and responding as your higher self. Your brain fires the same neurons as if it already happened, creating new neural networks while you sleep. This is literally how you rewire your reality. Lisa used this method for 30 days straight. By day 10, her anxiety dropped. By day 20, she felt detached from her old triggers. By day 30, her external world began matching her internal shift. This is quantum reprogramming. You delete the old self not by force, but by starving it of energy. Remember, whatever you stop giving energy to, ceases to exist in your field.
Transformation isn't a lightning bolt.
It's a quiet upgrade. It begins invisibly, in your vibration, in your choices, in your thoughts. Lisa didn't wake up one day healed. She woke up one day and realized she no longer resonated with her old pain. That's when she knew the deletion was complete. Here's what happens in this stage.
The people who match your old vibration start to fade away.
You lose interest in old habits. Even your voice, posture, and energy shift. It can feel lonely, but that's because you're between downloads. The old app is gone, and the new one is still installing. Quantum physics explains this as the void. The space between who you were and who you're becoming. It's uncomfortable because the mind wants certainty, but in the void, all possibilities exist. So if you're here right now, don't panic.
You're not lost.
You're upgrading. This is where trust becomes your power. You must feel your new reality before you can see it. When Lisa was in the void, she journaled daily.
I trust the unseen.
I am being rebuilt in higher frequency. Soon, opportunities began aligning, not because she chased them, but because she matched them. Her life didn't just change. The coaching business, helping others release their old selves, and within a year, she was living in a beach of the material success, reacting to life, and start designing it consciously.
You are not stuck. You're just running all software.
And once you uninstall it, life becomes light, flexible, and full of synchronicity again. Now comes the most important part, turning your transformation into a mission. Because true spiritual growth isn't just about becoming free. It's about helping others do the same. When you delete your old self, you don't disappear, you evolve. And the universe immediately calls you to share that frequency. Every healed person becomes a signal, a beacon in the quantum field, making it easier for others to shift too. That's how global change happens, one upgraded consciousness at a time. Think of it like Wi-Fi. When you raise your vibration, everyone around you starts getting a stronger signal too. Lisa understood this deeply. She began teaching others to identify their subconscious loops, to visualize their future selves, and to anchor gratitude for realities they hadn't yet seen. Her story began spreading, not because she forced it, but because truth has a frequency people can feel. And now, it's your turn. You were never meant to stay the same. The old self served a purpose, it protected you, it survived for you, but now it's time to thank it, and let it go. Place your hand on your heart right now. Close your eyes and whisper. I release who I was. I welcome who I am becoming. Breathe. Because in that breath, you're already shifting timelines. Remember, you don't need to wait for the universe to give you permission. You are the universe, experiencing itself through you. Your thoughts are quantum commands. Your emotions are energy signatures. And your choices are how you write the code of your destiny. So from this moment forward, Delete the app that says you're broken, unworthy, or unlucky. Download the version that knows you're limitless, creative, and connected to everything. Your mission is simple. Live as proof that consciousness creates reality. Show others that they too can uninstall their old programs and install peace, love, and purpose. Because when you do, you don't just change your life, you change the collective frequency of the planet. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you found this video today. If this message resonated with you, don't let it fade. Comment, "I'm deleting my old self" below to seal your intention in the quantum field. Then subscribe, because next week, we're diving even deeper into the science of timeline jumping and how to merge with your higher self consciously. Until then, remember, you are not your past. You are pure potential, waiting to be downloaded.